Hello everyone! The use of drones opens up new perspectives and significantly expands the possibilities of filming. Thanks to our new selection, you will see what amazing natural phenomena, sites, and unique places are available to drones, and you will definitely be impressed by what visual content they are able to create. Let's get started! From time to time, drone operators encounter an unexpected problem. These are eagles. Birds of prey pay attention to an unidentified object and may even perceive it as an enemy. Of course, the ability to fearlessly climb steep, icy rocks is truly admirable. Ice climbing requires an athlete to have perfect coordination of movements, excellent physical fitness, and, as in this case, good luck. Manaslu is the 8th tallest 8,000er in the world, which has become one of the most popular routes in the Himalayas. At an altitude of 4,800 meters, there is a base camp. El Peñón de Guatapi Rock is located off the shores of a reservoir in a picturesque area in Colombia. It rises 220 meters from the ground and 659 steep steps lead to its top. The Muquij Festival is one of the most colorful festivals in Brazil. For several days, the city is filled with music, dancing, and various cultural events. Impressive demolition work is carried out to extract minerals or create construction sites. Do you think they're just enjoying a quiet time? In fact, they deserve to rest, given the height they have already managed to conquer. In the mountains of Shandong Province, China, there is an amazing bomb shelter that goes deep for several kilometers. It is one of the extinct volcanoes in La Rioja Province in Argentina. Now it is an amazing geological formation, the mouth of which can even be approached. Just imagine, more than 250,000 cars pass over the bridge connecting San Francisco and Oakland every day. In the Lanying Canyon area in Wuxi County, China, the road is a real extreme adventure for motorists. The Rhine waterfall, located in Laffenhuisen, Switzerland, is the largest and most majestic waterfall in Europe. Drones have become a surprisingly effective tool for studying whales in the open ocean. Now researchers are using them to place tags on these elusive giants. Who needs an ordinary hammock if you can make such an extraordinarily relaxing flight? There are many ways to get an adrenaline rush in your blood. This is one of the most extreme and exciting. Still, you should keep distance while filming animals, otherwise you can pay for the invasion of their personal space. Rio de Janeiro from a bird's eye view presents a fascinating picture of the amazing contrasts between natural and urban landscapes. However, the first thing that catches your eye is the famous statue of Christ the Redeemer.
What a twist! Haven't you expected to see this either, have you?
After dark, powerful floodlights installed around Niagara Falls illuminate the streams of water, coloring them in all the colors of the rainbow. This unusual bridge was built over the Yangtze River in the Chinese city of Chongqing. It connects two urban areas called Dadaku and Banan. Tourists are simply delighted with it. They compare it to the spaceship from the Interstellar. A reverse waterfall is a rare natural phenomenon that occurs under the influence of strong winds that direct the flow of water back up, which is why such an unusual illusion takes place. The height of the Lot Tower is 555 meters, and its observation deck offers a wonderful panoramic view of Seoul. It is from this angle that you can see the scale and grandeur of everyone's favorite attraction. There are not many similar mining sites in the world, and it makes these shots simply priceless. Hyfoss is a waterfall in the south of Iceland on the Fossa River. It is the second highest waterfall in the country and a favorite tourist attraction. Skyscrapers that have pointed peaks or spires contribute to the concentration of the electric field. This makes the tops of buildings attractive targets for lightning.
Before watching similar videos, it would be great to buy some sedative pills. One needs nerves of steel here.
Even the most famous sites are striking again when you see them from a new perspective. Surfing is becoming more and more popular, so it is not surprising that the competition for the best waves is also growing. However, this does not mean that all surfers can boast the skill to conquer them. The locals were tired of the fast-growing accumulation of soil and plants on the surface of the lake, so they decided to move it. It turns out that the floating island is quite light because it is made of peat, moss, and algae. If a bear has started to appear near your house, then you can use a drone to try to get rid of such an uninvited guest.
There are things that are absolutely impossible to believe, and how could this even happen?
Butterflies are usually associated with bright colors and beautiful patterns. They are also very good at disguising themselves. It is hard to believe that it is possible to achieve such a uniformity of movement, especially considering the considerable number of people on the team. What an unusual installation. I wonder if its author really wanted to remind us of the importance of observing traffic rules in this way. It does not seem that the bird perceived it as an enemy. Rather, it flew up to make sure that its flight was safe. It seems that the drone operator has found a completely safe and exciting way to practice his accuracy. These balloons had no chance to escape. Drone shooting allows you to get unique and exciting shots that are difficult to achieve using traditional methods. The operator of this drone has surpassed himself. Such a smooth movement of the camera is a pleasure to watch. By doing so, one can even deceive themselves and pretend that they are treating someone else with extra sugar and not using it for themselves. Of course, the pool is quite original, but much more impressive is the swimming style of this guy. Considering that gray hair will soon grow back, is this procedure worth the effort and time spent by the master? Whatever happens in the world, there must be some time for a haircut. Everyone knows about the existence of cemeteries of decommissioned planes or sunken ships, but this time, the drone came across an abandoned parking lot of unnecessary buses. Famous photographer and guide Piet van den Bend filmed the unusual behavior of humpback whales in Antarctica. During the hunt, they released air bubbles, which led to the formation of a shape resembling a Fibonacci spiral on the surface of the water. These unique shots were made in the woods of Staffordshire County, where the mysterious spirit of a black-eyed girl had been haunting visitors for more than 4 decades. Experts in the field of paranormal phenomena claim that this creepy video may be the first real evidence of the existence of a supernatural being in the area. This is some kind of new level of 3D tattooing, and also a very original and funny way to decorate your mole. In China's Lushan National Park, you can see a magnificent waterfall of clouds. He hardly imagined that spying on neighbors would lead to such an awkward situation. Now, if he wants to return the drone, he'll have to talk to them. The Jetson Van drone is a real aircraft made of aluminum and carbon fiber, equipped with 8 electric motors and capable of reaching speeds of 102 km per hour with a maximum flight time of 20 minutes. Perhaps one day it'll become commercially available and appear in the cities. The Eagle showed the drone who the boss is. There can be only one real king of the heavenly expanses. In general, it's already clear what a flamethrower is capable of, but here it looks like some kind of super weapon from a Hollywood blockbuster. It may be a beautiful big car, but it's definitely not suitable for living in a big city. The horse does not like chaos. Even on walks, it prefers orderly movements. What could be better than doing what you love in the company of like-minded people? Every year in January, more than 15,000 people gather at Seagull Lake, Minnesota for winter fishing. In winter, the main attraction of Lake Michigan is lighthouses, which turn into real ice masterpieces. However, other buildings nearby are covered with ice and icicles, which create such a fabulous atmosphere there. The beaches of Rio de Janeiro are famous for their beauty, picturesque landscapes, a unique atmosphere of eternal celebration, and crowds. Some sites and historically significant finds are difficult to access. Drones help them not only to find them, but also to explore them. The sea abyss holds many more secrets, however, one can find something interesting even on the surface of the water. Lake Irek in Turkey is home to amazing flamingos. Do you want to be alone, escape from the constant noise of the city and the hustle and bustle? Then perhaps working at one of the most remote lighthouses in the world is a good option. This video was shot a few hours before about 100 blackfish, also known as black dolphins, washed up on the west coast of Australia. Bike sharing in China has failed miserably. Now entire fields are littered with abandoned and unnecessary bicycles. Do you see this huge boulder? It rolled down from the top directly onto the village, but got stuck and split into two parts. This drone managed to capture an incredible stream of water dropped from a dam. The Chilean government has decided to drain the water in order to avoid flooding. The drone captured a very unusual sight. This is a school of salmon swimming in circles. It turns out that this is how fish behave when they return from the ocean to the rivers and try to find a suitable place to lay eggs. Given the bloodthirstiness and excellent hunting skills of killer whales, it is rare to see this predator in the company of a blue whale. They behaved peacefully and just enjoyed swimming. When viewed from above on the small Sicilian village of Centeripe, it is easy to see its unusual five-pointed shape. As you can see, it resembles the outline of a man or a starfish.
And we're moving on at the speed of light. All the most interesting things are still ahead.
One of the main concerns about drones is the possibility of unauthorized photo and video shooting. While exploring the area, the drone may record people who are looking for privacy. In addition, it can record something while being unnoticed. When launching the drone, the operator did not hope that he would stumble upon something unexpected. This area turned out to be interesting. How they got here and to whom they belonged remains a mystery. There are no boundaries for art. A real master can create a real masterpiece only from improvised means like this man. Using only sand and his imagination, he paints pictures right on the ground. Yes, they are real madmen. These guys not only climbed on an ice block, but also turned it into a real raft while controlling it with ordinary oars. Such entertainment is not for the faint of heart. Once in the right hands, cars can be not just a vehicle, but a real tool for art. This light show is fully functional only thanks to an entire stadium of electric vehicles. The slopes with free riders are not just picturesque, you can choose your own routes on them, which creates a sense of freedom. That's just one of the disadvantages of this extreme sport, is the high risk of an avalanche. Considering that the number of cars in the world is increasing every year, the size of some parking lots is simply amazing. The main thing is, leaving the car here, do not forget where it's parked. The football player demonstrated an impressive freestyle by shooting down a drone that was circling in the air. It is a fascinating sight when the fog, like waves, covers the vineyards. One of the most impressive structures in Iraq is the minaret of the Great Mosque of Samarra.
If you haven't liked this episode yet, now is the best time to do it.
It looks like a real ice kingdom is being built here. You are not wrong now. These huge arrows on the ground are not made for beauty. This is a really primitive GPS for airplanes. This huge flock of birds makes its usual seasonal flight to warmer climes, but what is more surprising is how they keep order and clearly know their direction without turning everything into chaos. Retreating, the tide creates a mind-blowing picture, especially when you look at it from a bird's eye view. The whale shark, with its terrifying size, does not pose any danger to humans at all. Seeing this huge fish up close is an amazing experience. This unique bar is located on the cliffs of the west coast of Jimbaran in Bali. The open sea and picturesque view delight its visitors. If you have little experience, it is better to first master the technique of flight control over the ground. He was warned not to launch a drone here, but he didn't listen. It was a huge mistake. This is a perfect place in the Swiss Alps for a break from the bustling city and privacy. This unique group of dolphins was captured on video, Biologists suggest that the increase in the number of these beautiful mammals in one pack is due to the growth of the white shark population and the need for more effective protection against them. Many people crave thrills on weekends and vacations, but not him. Such a huge farm requires not only hard physical labor, but also the introduction of various technologies and the use of auxiliary means. There are many advantages to living by the river, but there are also many dangers. All the beauty of the Iguazu complex, which consists of 275 waterfalls, can only be appreciated from a height. In the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of China, there was so much snow that the wolves literally had to dig tunnels in order to survive. Sea turtles usually try to hide from predators or use their shells to protect themselves, but this time, the tiger shark not only did not scare the potential victim, but it began to fight, bite, and even chase. From a distance, it may seem that this is an ordinary rock, but if you zoom in a little closer, you can see that in fact, these are all walruses resting on a piece of land. Some mountains are so high that they simply blur the boundary between heaven and earth. The tops of these rocks are completely covered with clouds, which makes the view even more beautiful. The girl tried her best to save the drone from falling into the pool, but instead, she almost fell into it. The extraordinary rocks are located in Wangkang Province, Thailand. This natural wonder was formed 75 million years ago and creates the illusion of a family of whales swimming in the middle of the forest. The drone show is really becoming more popular lately. It is an impressive spectacle that combines art and technology, offering viewers an unforgettable and unique experience. Do you think traffic jams can only affect cars? Obviously, even in the desert, camels sometimes have to wait. From a bird's eye view, the dismantling of real buildings by explosion looks more like the destruction of a mock-up. The height difference at the beginning and end of this mountain serpentine is 1 kilometer, and it's worth overcoming in order to see the amazing natural wonder called the Gate to Heaven at the top of Tiananmen Mountain. Legends and folklore about mermaids that exist in different cultures around the world still haunt people. When images of these mythical creatures appear online, discussions about their authenticity inevitably arise. Kater Waterfall is one of the most powerful, tallest, and most beautiful waterfalls on Earth. The thing is that it is very difficult to get to, so tourists are offered to see it from a bird's eye view. This snowmobile represents a real futuristic car. With its help, you can easily and without obstacles move around any snow-covered areas. For many years, unforgettable and spectacular kite festivals have been held all over the world. Everyone knows about walking along the canals of Venice, but there are still a lot of places in the world where you can get no less pleasure. In 2020, a Japanese ship ran aground on a coral reef off the coast of the country, resulting in tons of oil entering the ocean. A huge oil slick is clearly visible in the eerie footage of the environmental incident. It is quite difficult to get to the flooded temple in India, but this drone was able to take these amazing shots. A real ghost town of Bodie is located on the border of California and Nevada. In the end of the 19th century, it flourished, but gradually fell into disrepair and became deserted. Houses, churches, saloons, and even the morgue building remained preserved in time. Transport interchanges in Shanghai are a real engineering miracle. What a terrible situation. What has happened there? Is the driver trying to cover up some really horrific crime and run away from the scene? The bridge in the middle of the jungle is definitely not designed for cars, but for tourists and travelers, it can be very useful in a quick crossing to the other side of the forest. Glaciers and icebergs are an important part of the polar ecosystems and can take on a variety of shapes that amaze with their beauty and grandeur. The San Jorge River in Brazil cannot be called calm because of the number of unusual waterfalls and rapids on it. The port of Singapore is one of the busiest transit ports in the world. So many ships are usually anchored here and waiting in line. This cave is hidden in the rocks on the Gower Peninsula in South Wales and walled up behind an 18-meter stone wall. It was built in the 13th or 14th century as a shelter for domestic pigeons. In the last century, they say that there was a secret tunnel here that was used to move stolen goods. This extraordinary video was shot in California. You can watch how a magnificent flock of pelicans conquers the celestial expanses over the ocean. Drones open up new possibilities so that we can see impressive landscapes from a bird's eye view. Don't forget to share the most impressive moment of this episode in the comments below. See you soon.